Back here on the End Zone preview shows, we're going into Class 2A next. But before we jump in with our predictions and our analysis, Tommy Lopez has Junior Graham with him as he sets the stage for Class 2A. Tommy?
Thanks, Robbie. Here at Eupora with the Eagles head coach Junior Graham. Coach, this region in 2A, so close, seemingly every year. Is it the same this year? Is it going to be just as tough for you guys?
I think it's going to be just as tough. You can have a good football team and lose on Friday because of competition in our division.
It seems like that, and Bruce, Calhoun City, maybe two teams in particular that gave you guys trouble. What challenges will they present for you this year?
You know, I think Calhoun City is a team to beat until somebody beats them. When you return your quarterback like they return, and you know, obviously they going in as my favorite, but Bruce has a D1 guy and a Danny Dozen guy. Okolona has speed in every position, and you got East Webster over there that just every guy just plays so hard. It's all about matchups in our division and staying healthy, and it should be an interesting run down the stretch.
You've got a pretty experienced quarterback yourself. What will it take to really make it out on top in this region?
I think the team that can stay healthy for sure into that last four weeks, the team that protects the ball the best, and I think those teams, because we're so close and we're all a little bit different, and I think it's just going to be an interesting race down the stretch, and a one-loss team could probably win our division.
It sure seems like it. All right, that is the scoop on 2A. Robbie, back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you very much, Tommy. Man, Region 4 2A. Holy cow.
Man, that's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be what our equivalent, a high school equivalent of SEC. I mean, anybody's gonna come out.
SEC West?
Yeah, I say anybody can come out and win on any given day, and as he said, you know, a really good football team is gonna get left out of the playoffs.
Yeah, 5 teams, 4 playoff spots. How does, I mean, honestly, it'll probably come down to who stays healthy, if all that stuff.
Yeah, you had a couple of teams last year start out undefeated, start 6-0, 7-0, run into some division stuff in the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. You know, have some injuries, have some things that they didn't expect, and now they're on the outside looking in. A really good team on the outside looking in. And you know,
was East Webster
East
last
Webster is
year.
who I think about with that.
Yeah, East Webster started 6-0 last year and didn't make the playoffs. That's just the kind of division that it is this year. But East Webster this year, what do they look like?
You know, East Webster this year is going to be interesting to keep up with them. They always got good athletes. They've got some key guys to replace. It would sound like a theme, but that's really the theme for this year is graduation and filling some key holes. But, you know, I do feel like East Webster have a little bitter taste in their mouth after having such a good start. And I do look like they will be one of those teams in the top 4.
Now, Coach Graham said that Calhoun City is the team to beat in this division. Do you agree?
I'm going to have Calhoun City probably at the number 2 spot. And with that, I'm going to say Calhoun City has, y'all, they have an amazing non-conference schedule or non-district schedule where they always,
it's tough.
I mean, they'll go on the road and play some big names in the first 4 or 5 weeks. I like Okolona. You know, Okolona can do some things. They have workhorses on that team. They're senior heavy. And I think a good measuring stick with Okolona could be North Panola in Week 5, where they play some fantastic athletes in that county.
Yeah, there's a lot of good athletes between Okolona and North Panola on that field. We've mentioned Eupora, Okolona, Calhoun City, East Webster, but the team that I like the most, and I'm going to say it right now, I think Bruce is the team to beat in this division this year.
Absolutely. The big question for Bruce right now, preseason, is quarterback. Who's going to come in and play the quarterback? But they have Armstrong, which anybody's from Calhoun City. Yeah, it's kind of Calhoun County. Yeah, that's a big name when it comes to Calhoun County football. You look at that, and of course, Jay Johnson. It's going to be interesting to see what he does with all the spotlight, all the attention on him this year. So, you know, Bruce is a team that, as you said, you know, we've talked about everybody else, and this is such a tough region. You know, Bruce seems to be forgotten, but if they can get a good, consistent quarterback, doesn't have to be an amazing quarterback, but a consistent quarterback that can manage a football game, this is the team to beat.
More than likely, that's going to be Wesley Ross as he transferred from South Pontotoc, and I got a chance to catch up with them a little bit earlier this year. Wesley Ross looks good, but a team that has a quarterback coming back real quick, Eupora, Trey Pittman, Lamonte Sally, Corson Gunn, Will Bowen, they're loaded on offense this year.
Yeah, and Adam and I talked about this earlier. Anytime you have Junior Graham walking that sideline, you're in the game. I mean, you're down 14, 17 points, and you cannot count them out. He's a man of very few words, as you heard earlier, but you know, they speak on the gridiron, and that's what's really impressive about Eupora. And again, this kind of goes back to all of this. Every single one of these teams have an opportunity to dominate and do well, and that makes it for a really fun 4-2A.
We talk about 4-2A this whole time, and we don't mention a team from up north by the name of Baldwin that has maybe one of the best athletes, not just in our area, but in the state back, and he's going to play quarterback.
Yeah, Duke Upshaw. It seems like we've been talking about this kid since he's been in 3rd grade. I mean, every year we talk about Duke Upshaw. And rightfully so. This kid is so good. I mean, he is going to be a special athlete when he finally does decide to take his game to the next level. Like I said, he's been a player since 8th grade, and he's been an effective player. So he's going to be, as he goes, as Baldwin goes. So keeping him healthy and the team around him, Baldwin can really make some noise this year.
I don't think there's any denying Baldwin's going to be the team that's going to win this division. So who's the team that finishes 2nd, 3rd, 4th out of this division? Is there another team that, you know, possibly could give a run at Baldwin? I think Walnut's sort of the team that's lying around because they have a Danny Dozen kid in Armani Linton.
Yeah, and that was who I was fixing to tell you right there. I mean, if you go in order, I'm going to say more than likely Walnut is going to cause a little bit of confusion for some teams. You know, you talk about Linton, he reminds me of another kid that came out of Tippah County, and that's Pig Prather back in late 90s. With that being said, you know, the offensive line may be a little bit of a concern for Walnut, but, you know, throwing out there Mantachi, you know, hashtag the Tatch, you know, I mean, you got to have that.
Got to show them some.
They're really fun to follow,
Yeah.
and they had one of their best seasons that they've ever had in school history last year.
Keep an eye on Hatley. Although the Tigers haven't made the playoffs in recent memory, they bring back the quarterback, Jonathan Waycaster, and they have some athletes returning this year. So you never know with Hatley. New site, only he's graduating 2 seniors, and East Union was a team that made a run in the playoffs last year, so you never really know. We're breaking down 1A and 2A predictions next. Get at us on Twitter and let us know what you think.